They killed all the Taino Indians but 500 when you look into history. They only left 500 men, Taino Indians. They almost wiped out the whole tribe of Ephraim. And the Lord said, I'm gonna make you a blessed nation, a multitude of nations. So spiritually, he couldn't kill them all. The Lord put the spirit on an election to get them out of there. The 500 was part of the election. You look at it. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 35 and 5.
He sorely shot at him and he hated him. Go ahead.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the children of Israel.
See, you ever had a perpetual hatred? It's continue. Go ahead.
By the force of the sword.
By the force of the sword. Yeah, that's what it just said. Yeah. Sorely, they shot at him and they stabbed him up and killed him. Go ahead.
In the time of their calamity.
The time of their calamities, man. Go ahead.
In the time of their iniquity.
In the time of their iniquity, man.
Had an end.
Had an end. Yep. They was going over the wall, sleeping with them, believing in idols. Esau still killed your ass. You was down with what he was down with, he still killed your ass.
That's why it's got to be bloods by him that shed.
Even here in America. Y'all doing right the fuck the hell he wants you to do. You wearing suit and ties and everything, still gonna kill your ass. He perpetual hatred. All the way back to Genesis 27 chapter.
Slay my brother Jacob.
Yep, it ain't stopped. Perpetual means forever, man. They always gonna hate you, no matter how they grin at you.
I got a precept for you.
Order of wickedness, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness.
See, they trust him back then. Look what happened. They down there took out the whole tribe of Ephraim. The Lord had to preserve and elect, man. You see that? Them 500, I bet you they didn't touch no idols. Okay? 7,000 have not bowed unto the knee of Baal. See? Baal.
Back in Genesis 49 and 23 says, the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. Verse 24. But it's
24, it might go into something else. Read it.
But his bow about his strength and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the almighty power of God.
God, they were good. They were excellent fighters. They were warriors. See, our people were warriors. But the Lord had a spirit on Esau to kill him, even though Ephraim was the head tribe of the northern kingdom, man. He almost got wiped out. All the tribes, they were somewhat fit fighters. They were fit in fighting, skilled. But the Lord put the spirit on them, man. That's why it's you could be a warrior, the Lord gets you taken out. That's why I always sit up and think, man, what if somebody come up to camp and just spit on me or slap the shit out of me and attack me? What do I do? Because just knowing, shit, fight their damn ass. Really. Fight their ass, they gonna know they been in a fight too. And I guarantee they see me again, they ain't gonna fight no more. That's just I know me. Shit. But guess what? If the Lord put the spirit on you to take all your power, motherfucker come up here and you try to fight them, they tear your ass apart right here on the campground. So that's why we trust in the Lord. That's why this is not weapons of our warfare. It's not corners. See, we come out here with the scriptures. See, come out here just speaking words, speaking peaceful words of the gospel.
Right, because the words of the Lord are sharper than any two-edged sword.
Go ahead.
This is the precept I have for you.
Give me Deuteronomy 33, 13.
Psalms 144:1. Blessed be the Lord, power, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
See, that was David. He was skilled at it. Teaches my fingers to what? My hands to battle.
To war, my fingers to fight.
See it? My hands to war, my fingers to fight. David might have been praying mantis, snake style. His hands and his fingers. Trying to hey, tear your ass up. Yeah, you see them Chinese movies?
Hey, they got that stuff from Jake, man. Chinese movies and stuff.
This is Deuteronomy 33 and 13. And of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord he be in his land. For the precious.
Blessed he be in his land. Yeah, they the Puerto Ricans. That's a beautiful place down there. There's a beautiful land down there. The Lord gave them beautiful land. They got beautiful sunsets and moonlights down there. Okay? Got plenty of fruit, good fruit trees and all that. Go ahead.
For the precious things of heaven.
For the precious things of heaven. Go ahead.
For the dew and for the deep that crouches beneath.
Read that again.
And for the dew and for the deep that crouches beneath.
So couches beneath. That's talking about the water, the seas. Okay. They got beautiful blue oceans down there outside of Puerto Rico. That's what it's talking about. Got plenty of fish and everything. Go ahead.
That's it, man. See that?
Verse 14.
Oh, okay. Verse 14. For the precious fruits brought forth by the sun.
See, precious fruits brought forth by the sun. Go ahead.
For the precious things put forth by the moon.
By the moon. Okay, the precious things put forth by the moon. So now I'm gonna go on there, type in fruit in Puerto Rico. Passion fruit, mangoes, gabanas. You ever ate a gabana? Precious fruit, you know. You ever ate a mango? You heard of it, I ain't never eaten them.
They good.
I don't like them. Passion fruit, you ever ate that?
Yeah, passion fruit, nasty.
Papaya.
That's what it is. The one with the black seeds in there?
Papaya.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. You got them seeds, you could ground those seeds up and drink that water. Them seeds, I think, is good for diabetes. It'll cure you like right away or something. Queen pie, star fruit, guava, pineapples, Barbados cherries, breadfruit, cooking bananas, coconut, Maley apples, Canto, Mamie Zapate, Lychee. Those are passionate. Those are extravagant fruit that grow in that land. The scripture just said it. Okay. Same way. When you go to Cuba, they grow a lot of and in Puerto Rico. Matter of fact, I'll show it. Read on.
Verse 15. For the chief things of the curious things, for the lasting hills.
Hills? Okay. So it said the chief things of the hills. You go to Cuba, Puerto Rico, in the mountains, they grow coffee beans in the mountains. See, those are chief things of the hills. Okay, that's a crop. So the Lord multiplied them, but he sustained them a goodly land for food. And they're going to tell you the soil was great for them to grow things so they could export and be able to survive. Even though Esau got his hand in it, he ain't really giving them all they have, because when you go look at the gross domestic product of Puerto Rico, it's 301 million, I think, a year, the GDP. So that's enough for that country to survive. Esau got his hand in everything.
Ain't nothing like hating Levi.
And they gross domestic product only 7 million. Puerto Rico is 300.
Damn.
Jacob still catching hell. I don't know what the GDP of Cuba is. Let me type it in right quick. GDP of Cuba. product.
I got it right here.
100 billion. So that means that Puerto Rico was 301 billion.
Damn.
Man, it's a lot. Go ahead.
Verse 16. For the precious things of the earth.
Go back.
Verse 15. For the chief things of the ancient mountains.
There it is, the chief thing of the ancient mountains. Go ahead.
For the precarious.
Precious.
Oh, for the precious things of the last
So they got
hills.
beautiful what? Vegetation in the mountains. You go up in the mountains, they're beautiful. Okay? It says precious. Type in national anthem of Puerto Rico. But they keep saying that word, precious. We didn't hear that word 3 times, man. Type the national anthem of Puerto Rico. What does it say?
National anthem is what's the name of it? See it? Warnick.
I think that means precious. I think that means precious. That's why I had to get it. I don't know why they ain't got it. They probably took it out.
You can put it translated in English.
But they national anthem means precious.
Verse 16. For the precious things of the earth.
Precious thing of the earth. What's the precious thing of the earth? The soil. They got great soil. That's why they grow a lot of that precious fruit. They got exotic fruit we can't even grow here in America. Because the Lord got the ground the right way. He got the soil right. And then he got it. Because you think about it. They on an island. So what's under an island? It's surrounded by water. Right. So it's always going to be moist. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. You always have good things that grow there that ain't going to grow nowhere else. The soil going to be continuously good. It ain't like living in Nevada with just straight rocks and ain't shit. No water nowhere. See, the Lord, man, hooked up Ephraim, man. He blessed them, man. Even though they in captivity, they still got blessed to a certain extent. See, they could have been like Haiti, like the priest.
Eating dog
with shit. Go ahead.
And fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush.
The good will of him that dwelt in the bush. What's that talking about?
said the good will in that bush.
The good will
That's it, I was
of him that dwelt in the bush. Boom. Get Exodus 3 and 2. Exodus 3 and 2.
Okay.
Or you can get 2nd Ezra 14 chapter.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 2. It reads, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto him.
The angel of Yahweh. Which is Yahweh Shai, right? Go ahead.
Appeared unto him in the flame of a fire out of the midst of a bush.
See that?
Okay.
The will of him in the bush. See that? Go ahead.
It says, and he looked, and behold, the bush burneth with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
Not consumed. Give me a rock. No, 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra 14:1.
God.
Y'all got more water? You good, huh? 2nd Ezra 14.
14:1. This book is 2 Ezra 14:1. It reads, and it came to pass upon the third day, I sat under an oak tree, under an oak, and beheld, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Ezra.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. It reads, and I said, here I am, Lord. And I stood upon my feet. Verse 3. And said unto, and then said he unto me in the bush, I did reveal myself unto Moses, and talk with him when my people served in Egypt. Verse 4.
Talk with Moses. While my people to Egypt.
Come. See that? Verse 4.
That's anything else on it?
And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season.
Now we got the men out here prophesying on the highways and byways. Okay. Whether they were here forbearing, the Lord is sealing whoever he chooses to seal.
Okay.
Right? We not out here sealing nobody. The Lord doing it.
You see that? Ain't gonna make you.
Paul planted, Apollos watered, and the Most High make the increase. See that?
Yep.
All right, go back to where we was at.
This is Deuteronomy 33:16. And the precious things of earth, and the fullness thereof, for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush.
For the good will of him that dwelt in the bush.
Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph.
Let the blessings come upon the head of Joseph. Go ahead.
And upon the top of the head of him
So if it fell upon Joseph, it fell upon Ephraim and Manasseh.
God, yep.
Go ahead.
I was like,
of him that was separated from his brother.
Him that was separated from his brother was Joseph. He was separated from his brother. You know that story. They tried to sell him. They sold him. They wanted to kill him. They sold him. Okay? That story, he went down to Egypt because of the famine, and Joseph knew who they were, but they didn't know who he was.
Because her off the
They look like Egyptians.
Yeah.
Probably had that eyebrow pencil on. Go ahead.
Verse 17. His glory is like first lasting of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of a unicorn.
So this speaking represents of his strength. Go ahead. He was a warrior. Ephraim was a warrior as well, like Manasseh. Go ahead.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
With them they should push them to the ends of the earth, which is twofold. Because Ephraim was the head tribe of the northern kingdom. When we left from Assyria, Issachar had their part. They was the ones who knew how to navigate. Ephraim, what it say, push them to the other end of the earth. And the other fold is, it goes into Ephraim, them destroying and consuming the Syrians in 1 Kings 22. And 1 Kings, I think it's 22 and like 10 or something like that. 1 Kings. I think it's 1 Kings 22.
What I say?
11. I'm gonna start at 9. It says, then the king of Israel came an officer and said, hasten hither Micah the son of Imlah, and the king of Israel, and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah. So the king of Israel and the king of Judah